All right, thank you so much for staying with us. This is News Center. We continue with our second coverage, hour of coverage, and we have quite a number of stories to cover for you. Seeing very many comments on Twitter in regards to conversations we've had here in the last hour. Keep them coming. Let's continue talking. All right, so let's continue with our coverage. And President Uhuru Kenyatta has urged the international community to respect decisions made by Kenya in pulling out of international missions and agreements that no longer worked in its interests. The president regretted there's the commander of the UN mission in South Sudan and defended the country's decision to withdraw KDF troops from the mission. Speaking during the second annual diplomatic forum organized by the Diplomatic Corps in Uganda, Uhuru said Africans should demand equal treatment when engaging with other countries on the illegitimate and unfair international order. The president said since African countries accepted the sovereign decisions of other states, he told African countries to open borders, connect people, increase trade, support innovation, and promote African knowledge.
Diplomatic Corps in Uganda for having the courage, determination, and the focus to invite His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta. And also to dedicate this dinner to a worthy cause, fighting against cancer. I think this focus on your part is very, very much appreciated by government because this enhances the work and the role of government and the people in the fight against cancer.
And to me, I believe it is a time for us to look at globalization differently and to localize globalization and to say what we need to do is to open up our African markets to African goods, to African services, to African trade as being the sure way of being able to protect our markets, create jobs for our young men and women who are in many instances crossing because we have been unable to open up our own markets, and because we have opened our markets as opposed to opening them up for ourselves to cheap goods that come from the outside. So we export our jobs as opposed to creating jobs for our people. But we will only be so able to do if we fast-track the African integration agenda and allow ourselves to open up our markets to our fellow Africans, and to recognize, as I always say, that within the African continent, we are not in competition with each other.